Hi guys, it's been a while since I've recorded because I've been waiting till summer to do this. Sepron, we're not done with it. I'll just start. Sepron, on with the quest. Tom and Elena slept on the floor of one of the cottages. Tom chose a spot near the door so he and Elena could sneak out without disturbing anyone. He woke to feel Elena shaking him by the shoulder. "Come on," she whispered, "it's time." Faint gray light was leaking through the shuttered window into the cottage. Tom rose to his feet, careful not to make a noise, and edged open the door. He and Elena crept outside. The sky was growling pale above the trees. Tom could make out the dark shape of storm grazing further up the hill. Silver came bounding out of the trees and snuffled at Elena's hand. "Shh, boy," she murmured. Tom saw that the flood water had almost disappeared during the night. More of the cottages had appeared. The boat was where they had left it, but now it lay at the top of a long slope covered with debris. "Oh no!" Elena's eyes were wide with shock. "How will we get the boat down to the water?" The boat was small, but it was strongly built. Straining together, Tom and Elena could barely lift it. "This is no good," Tom panted, setting it down again. "If we could find some rope, we could tie it to Storm and let him drag it." "No," Elena protested. "Look how rocky the slope is. We'd risk smashing another hole in it." Tom gazed down at the boat. They were so close, but without a boat, they would never be able to reach Sepron. "One more try," he said to Elena. "We've got to shift it." They both stooped down and gripped on the upturned boat at the bow and stern. Then a shout came from the cottage they had left. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Tom let go of the boat and straightened up. Callum was coming out of the cottage. He strode towards Tom and Elena. Tom ran to meet him. "Callum, don't wake everyone, please. We can explain." Callum's face was dark with anger. "I thought you wanted to help us. Now it looks like as if you're trying to steal our boat." "We only want to borrow it," Elena pleaded. "My father said no." Tom hesitated. To his relief, none of the other villagers had been disturbed by Callum's shout. If only he could persuade Callum, but he knew that he shouldn't tell anyone about his beast quest. That would only spread panic. "I need the boat for something really important," he began. Callum was giving him a thoughtful look now. It was the way he had looked at Tom's shield after it turned aside the flames. Then he glanced out to the sea. "I think I can guess," he said. "I thought there was something strange when I saw what you did with your shield." He paused, then added, "You remind me of someone." "Who?" Tom asked. "A man who rode here a long time ago. He looked just like you." Tom's heart began to thump painfully. Could it have been his father? What was his name? He asked, gripping the boy's shoulders. Callum shook his head. He didn't say. He just told us that he was on a quest. He paused, then said, "I think you might be on a quest too." Tom was sure that the stranger must have been his father, Taladon. He ached to know more about him. He wanted to ask about every detail of his stay in the village, but there was no time. The sky was growing brighter. Soon the villagers would be up and about, and he couldn't tell Callum his secret, even though he had almost guessed it for himself. He held the boy's gaze steadily. Elena didn't say a word, though Silver whined softly. After a moment, Callum gave a brisk nod. "All right, I'll help you move the boat." The three of them managed to lift the boat and carry it down the hill. With the flood water almost gone, they waded across a pebbly beach until the sea was deep enough to launch the boat. Tom and Elena scrambled on board. Silver yelped eagerly and tried to follow. "No, boy," Elena said, ruffling the thick fur around his neck. "You can't come this time." "I'll look after him," Callum promised, "and your horse." He rested his hand on Silver's head. The wolf looked up at him and let out a mournful whine. "We'll be back soon," Tom said. Tom gave Silver a last pat. Then Elena unleashed the oars and gave one to Tom. They began rowing out to sea. Back on the beach, Callum stood knee-deep in the water, with Silver at his side. He raised his hand. "Good luck," he called. "Thanks," Tom murmured, looking at Elena. "We're going to need it." That is the end of Chapter 5. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm actually not on Sepron. I've already finished him. The truth is I'm on Series 9. Spike Fin, I don't know his actual... Series 9, Book 5, I believe. Spike Fin. Anyways, that is it for this video. Sadly, I do not have Arc Death Mountain Giant. This one, I do not have it, so I will not be reading you. Instead, I will be skipping straight to tags. Alright, peace out. See you next time.